think it's really important to have younger generations and also representatives from groups that have been historically disenfranchised at the table when making these policy decisions.
Because when everyone gets together to safely speak about how they want something to change, there is a greater chance of it actually happening. I think everyone kind of has their own role which contributes to that certain cause that you're trying to achieve.
No matter what, you need to go out and vote no matter what. You have to make your voice heard. And going out and voting is the way of making your voice heard. Maybe not as meaningful as I would like it to be.
Civic engagement is definitely one of the most important ways to bring about change. I think that real change comes from the people in a country, and the leaders and people in power will answer to the people.
It brings individuals and communities together to work on something and protects public values, and it just makes a change in the community.
We all need to come together and work to help better our community and our country. And for that, I think there needs to be a fair representation from all different types of people, different races, genders, religions, beliefs, and even work status.
It's good to listen to the other side of the issue and see their differences and similarities before agreeing on one specific side. Nothing is ever going to come out perfect if you decide to do the extreme.
I think the people that need to be at the table making meaningful progress are the people who are affected by the decisions being made.
I think that it's always possible at the end of the day to find common ground with those that you disagree with, if everyone is being really honest and open about the source of their source for their perspectives and experiences that have shaped who they are and what they believe.
I define collaboration between two people as being an exchange of ideas, a period of time where people are brainstorming together and allowing the diversity of their skills and opinions to blend together in an effective means.
Good evening, and thank you, The Hill, and thank you, Lamar. It's a pleasure to be here. So I'm a senior communications officer with the Walton Family Foundation. And the foundation, we work in 3 areas: strengthening the connection between K-12 education and lifelong opportunity, and protecting rivers, oceans, and the communities they support, and finally, advancing our home region of Northwest Arkansas and the Arkansas-Mississippi Delta. And earlier this year, we partnered with both Edelman and Murmuration to do a deeper dive on Gen Z. We wanted to understand what they were experiencing in this moment, and what do they need more of, and how can we better understand? So what are their concerns and what drives their passions were some of the questions that we really dug into. And some of the themes that cropped up for us are similar to a lot of what you've heard tonight. Mental health concerns and struggles are persistent. more than 60% of Gen Z high schoolers are concerned about sexual assault, gun violence, or a friend attempting or completing suicide. Despite these challenges and others, Gen Z still sees a path forward for progress. 59% believe their generation will drive positive change. They are hopeful and deeply concerned about those who are more vulnerable than themselves. And many want to engage in work that benefits society. They want a better life for themselves, and many don't feel like their K-12 education is preparing them for the happy, fulfilling lives that they want to lead. And, I think we've heard as well in a couple of years, and we're seeing evidence now that they will be a significant portion of the electorate. They want to be politically engaged, but they don't feel seen or heard by those currently in office. And we also know that they want to collaborate, but they have not had exposure to what a functional version of that looks like. They don't feel like older generations are going to prioritize the needs of younger generations. There's a lack of trust. But these views are better explained with a member of Gen Z. So thank you, Lamar, for being here. I'd like you to introduce yourself, and as we think about how we can work together to arrive at common solutions, Lamar, the question I'd like to ask you is, what is most important to Gen Z regarding collaboration? How can we collaborate to help accelerate solutions for some of the biggest challenges society is facing?
All right, absolutely. So my name is Lamar Danley. I'm a senior political science major, African American Studies minor by way of Memphis, Tennessee. I just want to shout out Miss Winter, who came before me. It's good to always see Bison in the room, Bison representing Howard University, and also lifting voices. That's just amazing to see. For me, collaboration looks like really validating the younger generation's opinions and being more open-minded to non-traditional methods. I understand before I came up on this stage that it was talked about TikTok and like understanding how Generation Z really receives media and really receives communication. We receive a lot of things completely different. Even how you guys validate opinions as far as politics, just making sure that you're constantly validating and finding new non-traditional ways to reach us.
And with the skepticism that Gen Z is expressing about, the way today's leaders have future generations' best interest in mind, what are the implications of this, and what can we do to change them?
I think some of the implications simply are. Could you repeat the question one more time?
Sure. So Gen Z is skeptical that today's leaders have your generation's best interest in mind. What are the implications of that, and how can we, change that?
Absolutely. So the skepticism obviously means we're not going to continue to vote. We're not going to continue to participate. We're not going to continue to want to collaborate if we're not being seen, heard. And so I think what we can change that is, again, being more, not only validating, but also creating a better pipeline to politics, not one that is so selective, and also just creating a system that understands Generation Z and the economic portion. Just being a member of Howard University and also working on the Hill, but then you also have to pay for school, you have to pay for your living situation, and then a lot of the political internships that is that pipeway to really being involved in civic engagement is not paying their interns or not creating that pathway. It really locks out and eliminates the opportunities for a lot of like younger Black individuals who cannot take on that internship and also not afford to pay their living expenses or pay their education. So it's just about creating a better pathway, but also being understanding about accessibility for younger people.
Yeah, thank you for that. It's a good segue into the other question that I have, which is, we obviously just held a significant election last week, and in many ways we're still in the election, waiting on important races to be decided. How has the last 2 weeks made you view getting involved in civic life, whether that's voting or volunteering or even running for office yourself?
Absolutely. So I'm from Arkansas, and so just seeing how southern states are starting to flip, to see how southern states are taking the different route that it has usually has been our environment, our reality for a very long time. It's very inspiring as a young person because it seems as though now our voices are starting to count, especially as my generation ends up to be more of the voters and more of the people taking political engagement. I think that even seeing how some of the races that we want to see come so close, even with the loss, just shows that sometimes we have to work a little bit harder, and as we get older, we'll have even more influence. So for me, it's just really inspiring. Really shows me that as we get older, we'll be a lot stronger.
So you're a college senior, and we've seen in our research that many Zoomers don't feel that their education provided them with what they need to be successful. Does that resonate with you and your peers? What do you think people in this room should be thinking about or focusing on in K-12 education right now to ensure that future generations will be set up for success?
Absolutely. So as I end my college career and I come to the end of the closing and kind of enter adulthood and enter life, I realized that we have lost the substance of education. Education is becoming a lot easier. Education is more about finding the answer in the passage and being less innovative, less creative, less critical in our thinking, and more so just finding the easy way out. So for me, I'm looking for a lot of longevity and a lot of substance in education, and taking the educational skills that we have lost, such as critical thinking, and really diving in with collaboration to come back into our school systems and kind of moving past these performative educational platforms that we use in schools today, and really think about how we want our kids to be educated.
And what should collaboration look between you, your peers, and older generations look like? I mean, what do you think institutional leaders need to know about you and what you expect when working with them to drive big changes on important issues?
Absolutely. So we're just looking for mentorship. We're looking for an opportunity to actually collaborate on a lower level, an opportunity for you guys to provide feedback to us, but also to kind of help us work through our situations and actually have tangible solutions, even as a young person. It's very important to see that a lot of our dreams and a lot of our aspirations for political atmospheres as well as educational institutions be at the forefront of your conversations and not an aftermath or an afterthought as a young person. I think a lot of people have the young people's best interests at heart, but when young people express that their solutions may not be the best, although it may seem the best in their eyes, I think a lot of people put us aside. So just making sure that with mentorship comes correct feedback, a lot of positivity, and continuation of opportunities, and the continuation of paying attention to us and walking us through and walking us towards more political engagement.
Well, you've given us a lot to think about. So thank you so much, Lamar. Thank you all, and we appreciate it. Mm-hmm.